Hey guys, it's Casey. Let's get real for a second. This Christmas holiday, I promised myself that I was going to get a lot of stuff done. I was going to write, I was going to edit my nano novel, I was going to make a bunch of videos for this channel, I was going to completely redesign the channel because it's not what I expected it to be initially, and I was going to read and do stuff. And mostly I just ended up sleeping and playing video games and, well, occasionally reading stuff, but not the stuff that I promised myself I would read. And now I'm almost ready to go back to school, and I've got all this homework piled up and readings I have to do, and I didn't get to do any of the things that I planned on doing. Why? Why didn't I do anything? The answer is simple. Procrastination. Procrastination is just not doing things that you said you were going to do. It's often associated with things that are unpleasant or that you want to put off, like getting a root canal or finishing that essay for that class you don't like. But in general, procrastination can be applied to basically anything, including things that you love. Like, I love writing. That's my thing. I write all the time. But when I make projects and plans, I don't always follow through with them. Why? It's not that I don't want to. It's that I don't have the motivation, maybe? Or I don't have any set goals. The product isn't matching up to my expectations, and I get frustrated, and then I just stop. And that's bad. This is especially true for creators of content. That could be anything from YouTube videos to artwork to writing to photography and music. Just anything that you like doing, that you like creating. There are a lot of ways to avoid procrastination, and I'm going to give you some tips because I really need to do this myself. Like, I need to apply this to my own life, and I'm going to. That's going to be my thing. I'm going to stop procrastinating. That's my New Year's resolution. So today I'm making a video, which is a good first step. So the good first step is to just do something. Just start. It doesn't matter whether or not it's going to be good, whether or not it's going to be what you wanted it to be. As long as you start doing something, you've already got over the first hurdle. But if you're having trouble starting, there are other ways to get yourself motivated to do things. Number 1, make lists. It doesn't have to be a long list. It doesn't have to be a list with, all the things you want to get done in your entire life. It just has to be a list of things to do. And when you do them, check them off. Sometimes certain tasks feel monumental, but breaking them down into smaller steps and putting them in a list makes it easier for you to accomplish them. Like moving. Moving was hard. I had to pack up all my things, then I had to unpack all my things, and it felt like this huge task. So what I did in order to help me accomplish this is I said, okay, 1 box per day. I'm going to unpack 1 box per day. I even made a list of what order. Like, I'm going to unpack my clothes first, and then my books, and then my knickknacks, and then my old school stuff, and then, and eventually, I'm almost done. Like, I'm not done. I've still got like 2 boxes left, but they're not important stuff. I got the important stuff done because I made a list, and I made myself promise to complete those goals. Number 2, provide yourself with gratification. In this day and age, instant gratification is pretty instant. You make a status update and you get instant likes and comments and retweets and reblogs, and it's not like writing a letter where you have to sit down and wait a week before you get a response. We need to train ourselves not to expect things to happen instantly. When you're writing a novel, it's not just all going to come out in a week. You're not going to get a publisher the next day. You're not going to finish an oil painting in 6 hours, and you're not going to have everyone liking it unless you, upload it to Instagram. But the thing about real life content is that sometimes there isn't instant gratification. So provide yourself with some. If I write a chapter today, I'm going to eat my chocolate orange. That's, a goal. And it's something tangible that I get at the end of doing something. Providing myself with a carrot at the end of a stick to make me walk faster, to make me realize the objectives. Number 3, start a calendar. If you don't already have one, print one out. Buy one. Do something. Write down one thing that you're going to do every day. Sometimes getting out of bed is hard, but you need to realize that eventually you're going to have something if you do a little bit every day. Sometimes the hugeness of a project becomes overwhelming. But I find when I've got a calendar marking down how much I have to do every single day in order to accomplish my goal, it seems smaller. It seems like, okay, a month isn't that long to write a novel, So number 4, setting deadlines, becomes easier. doing things with deadlines makes it easier because you have a set date at which you have to be done. Sometimes when you're creating something, you don't actually have a deadline, so you don't feel the pressure that you do when you've got one. I have never handed in an essay late for school, ever, in my life. I hate doing them. Everybody does. But I sit down and I do it because I know that it has to be done on this exact day, on this exact minute in university. Like, there's like very strict deadlines. And yeah, sometimes I still procrastinate. I've got 3 weeks to do it and I only take 4 days because the last 4 days are when I start feeling the pressure, and that's when I get my inspiration. That's when I get that motivation to actually sit down and create something, because it has to be done. There's absolutely no two ways about it. My first NaNoWriMo, I wrote more in a month than I had probably my entire writing career. Like, I completed a novel. It's not good. I mean, it's not terrific, but I like it, and I did it in a month, and that's fantastic. You know how hard it is to write a novel in a month? But I did it because I had all these goals and I had a little bit to do each day, and I could just build upon what I'd done the previous day, and it wasn't such a monumental task after I'd gotten started. Getting started is important. Number 5, tell people about it. If it's just you, sometimes you don't have this kind of support system that makes you want to do things. When you're writing an essay, you've got a teacher or a professor that you need to complete something for. When you're an artist, you have commissions. When you're a musician, you have fans, you know, whatever. So get a writing buddy, get a painting buddy, get a photography buddy, and say, I'm going to accomplish this goal in this amount of time. And then you'll do it because you don't want to let them down. You don't want to say, oh, well, I actually didn't do that thing that I promised I was going to do. So, you know, tell your friends that you're writing a novel, and you'll actually work on it. If you're just writing a novel and then you don't tell anyone, there's no one to say, hey, how's that going? And if you don't have that person whispering in your ear, hey, how you doing? What's going on? You know, I want to see it. If there's no expectation of anyone ever seeing it, if there's never going to be an audience, then you feel like there's no point in doing it at all. So, yeah, not every story you write is going to have an instant audience. Maybe it's just your friends saying, hey, so what was that story about? Well, how far have you gotten? You know, sometimes it's just having that kick in the pants to know that other people are not depending on you, but know about it and are willing to support you in doing it. That's a great way to break procrastination. So yeah, whether it's hard for you to get up in the morning and do things, whether or not you have writer's block or your hands shake and sometimes you can't do things you want to do, just start. Make goals. Little baby steps are important to getting things done. And in general, when you do, you feel so much better about yourself and about the content that you create. So yeah, I didn't make a video on January 1st, and I'm not going to make a video probably every week. But I'm going to try to do things, at least some things, that I set out to do initially. And I'm going to try to set goals and to follow those goals and just generally succeed at what I'm doing, because that's my New Year's resolution this year, is to not procrastinate and to get things done. You know, a little. The artwork in today's video is brought to you by Christine Mitchell, my best friend, who made me this beautiful picture for my birthday last year. She didn't procrastinate, but look at this beautiful thing that she made. It's wonderful and I love it, and it's going to hang on my wall one day, and it's not going to be on the bookshelf for much longer because I'm going to unpack all my books. But look how nice it is. It's so nice. Nice. Okay, bye for real.